Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video of my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm not doing too well. I'm sorry this will be going on through this video, but I still want to upload. So yeah, I'm a bit sick and I have a headache and I'm coughing, but this is not the topic of the video today. I just want to apologize for any inconvenience watching this video. We are today driving Melbourne time trial hot lap guide. This is what we are gonna do. I will share with you setup. We are gonna go into the slow track walk again. So we are driving around the track and I'm gonna show you where to brake, what to look out for. We're going into the hot lap and then we are also gonna go into the actual setup of the car. So let's get into it. So I'm driving the default here, but that doesn't matter. First of all, very important to always open up the line here, go as wide as possible before starting your lap and carry as much speed as you can without spinning. I was not looking there. Oh my god, great start, Marcel, great start. This is exactly what you need to do, guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So you do this and you get a lot of speed. You don't need to hit the curb there. And we're activating DRS and we're looking already into turn 1. Turn 1, our reference is roughly right here. You can kind of look for this tarmac spot on the left, a little bit earlier than that usually, or at a 50-meter board. You have to find your right braking point, very hard braking, down into 5th gear, and never cut over the curb. It's very slow to do that. Get super close, and once you tray brake, until this point, you want to smash the power as hard as you can, without losing the rear, and maybe you have to play around a little bit, and then you use all the track on the exit here. Be careful. On this track, one thing that you gotta look out for, and why you're probably thinking, Marcel, why am I off track now? There's 2 white lines. Technically, there's one. There's one yellow, and there's one white line. The yellow line is the actual white line on this track. So if you think, oh, I'm still on the white line, and then you push, and you come back, usually it's an off track. Same here. You don't need to use all of the exit curb. You can even, if you can avoid it fully, do it, okay? It's faster because it's just vibrations and unnecessary. Then we have a second DRS in sector 1, and you position your car as much as you can close to the wall here, and I would say right around when you're past that black border we just passed. So this thing over here, this is kind of where you want to hit the brakes super, super, super hard, and you go down to 3rd gear, rotate the car nicely, and you position your car as quickly as possible with on-throttle rotation in 4th gear, over here on the right. Then you flick in for the left. You can touch the inside curb, but if you can, always avoid the curbs. Everywhere. It's just the best way to do it. And then on the exit, you actually have to run it because you need to get close to the track limits. They removed the exit curb here, the sausage, so you can run as fast as you can. Full throttle. Everything is flat through here, no trouble, and this is the end of sector 1 also. Try and stay away from all of these curbs. Inside curb, outside curb, as much as you can. But full throttle, that's the main importance. So into sector 2, you position your car, you can see it's like a left king, so it's hard to position your car very straight, but you can, like last minute or last second, you want to have your car as straight as possible here, so it opens up. Brake fairly hard, not fully. I'm not sure if I actually did brake fully, but you still want to decelerate a lot, roughly at this point or at a 50 board, and then you want to hook up on the inside here. You can even hug the curb and power through in 6th gear. Use all of the track. Very easy to get an off track here. So be mindful, be careful with it. Super challenging corner. And then you stay tight. This is the new section of the circuit. We know there was the chicane here, but we are not caring about that. Just stay as tight as possible. When you go to this point, you have to go to the left. And we are in 8th gear. Then we also hit the brakes here. Just about the 50-meter board, get close to the wall, a little bit of braking, down into 7th or 6th, depending what you prefer. And you want to get as far as you can to the left. You will never get fully, but as far as you can. And if you can, drive around the curb, but if you can't, you can cut it a little bit. But it's very bouncy this year. It's very, very bouncy, so you gotta be careful. And if you get like pushed wide from the natural flow of the corner, you also need to always be mindful of the white line is the track limit. And these curbs are very high and bumpy, you can see that, so it's also very easy to get a wheel spin. Another DRS straight. I think this is the track with the most DRS zones on the F1 calendar. Sorry. Now here, you want to also brake just about here, so past the 50-meter board, I think, actually. I don't remember anymore fully. Because I drove a bit of AC earlier at a simulator arena, and now I don't fully remember it anymore, but it's a hard braking zone. You want to get very straight here with the car, and then down into 3rd gear, never hit the sausage curb, but you can get close to the inside curb. If you can avoid it, do it again. 3rd gear or 4th gear, And then also, if you can avoid the outside curb, do it. If you need to run it, then here, I think this one could be flat or a little lift. And then for the final braking zone, position your car as far as you can to the right, 50 meters. Or latest point, the blackboard is your braking reference. Down to third gear, rotate the car nicely. Use all the track on the throttle, then push on the throttle to get the car to rotate. And flat out through the final corner to fully maximize everything that you can on this track and cross the line for an amazing lap time of 4:48.977. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is how you do it. No, but now we are jumping into the fast lap. I will also talk you through that, because then we can actually see the reference points in a hot lap. And after that, I will share with you the setup. Okay, so we don't do the exit thing because we were still on a hot lap, but you would usually open up the line way more to get more momentum. So the exit out of the final corner was not ideal, but now into turn 1. We are braking at the tarmac point, and we're using all the track. Could even use a little bit more. Still 55 and 50 differential and brake bias. Now blackboard, hard braking, third gear at the apex, rotate to the right on the throttle, fourth gear, get close to the curb but don't use it. Then same thing here, avoid the curbs. I use it a little bit, and now we're changing the brake bias. No, we are not, but you position the car straight as much as you can. We used the track there on the exit nicely, no invalidation, and it was like roughly 60 to 70% of braking power. Now into the high speed section, the fast turn, I don't know which 11-12 chicane. 7th gear, cut as much as you can, but you could see that the exit curb bounced me a lot, and also the inside curb on the right. Now for this one, position your car straight, 50 meter board braking, get close to the curb but don't touch it. On the exit we did. And then now here we also have to adjust the throttle. Final corner, 50 meter braking point. Third gear we still miss it, so you have to brake a little bit earlier than that. And now get your foot on the power as early as possible to get your run down to the line. This is not the most ideal lap, because I think the world record is a 0.8, but I was limited on time, and this is a 16.221. I think this is still pretty decent. You could see what we have to do. So here we are now after the hot lap in the setup slot, and we are using today an aero balance of 37 front, 29 rear. It's fairly high. You could go lower, but I feel like it's easier to drive, and I want to make these setups fast but also nice to drive. So it's something that you can use in league races, and you can tweak it a little bit to make it even a bit faster. But also for people that don't want to tweak it and they still want a fast setup, this is usable. If you're struggling a lot with the rear end, please make sure to increase the rear wing to 31 or something. It might get a bit more understeery, but maybe even 32. I would keep it for this one 29, because you have an 8 wing gap. It's still good. You could even increase it if you need more rotation and more top speed, because top speed is crucial on this track, but also the downforce for the high speed corners. For the transmission, we're using 50 on throttle. You can use 55 in some of the traction zones, but in general this track is very high speed, a lot of downforce sections, so you don't really need to worry about wheel spin too much. Then on the off diff, we're using 51. If you feel like you're losing a little bit the rear and the braking, then please increase it to 52. Or you can also increase the rear balance. Like, the rear balance also dictates how easily you can lose the car under braking. If you feel like you're understeering too much, please go to 50 or leave it on 51 and increase the balance. It's always like playing around with the whole setup, you know. Then with this here, we are always going right, left. You are used to it by now. On the suspension, we're in 39.8. You can probably push it to 41, but the stiffer you go, the rougher the curbs will be. And especially in the high-speed left-right chicane, I feel like 41 is terrible if you go over the right curb. Rear suspension 8, front anti-roll bar 3, rear anti-roll bar 1, then 33 on the front right head, 38 on the rear. You can, if you go for the front suspension here, and probably even put it to 32. If you want to go lower here, you definitely need to watch out for the rear suspension, because if you go too low, you have to balance this out again. On the brakes, 100 and... well, we were using, I think, 55 as well on the hot lap. I'm playing around with it with 54. And on the tire pressures, we're using 22.6 and 20.3, but I would actually recommend you to use 22.5 and 20.2. And this is already the setup. If this video was useful and you improved your lap time, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, your progress, and also check out my Instagram, because it would help me out a lot if you leave a follow there. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the race weekend. You're Marcel. Peace.